All right, guys. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how to think big as a business owner. The first thing is you have to do the math. Okay, if you start doing the math and you go, well, I spend 40 hours marketing or 60 hours marketing, right? And then you get to the point where you're doing more sales than marketing, and you hire a person to do the marketing. And then you start going, well, my sales have increased, and now I hired another marketing person and I hired them, and my sales increased, 50% more, 75% more, whatever. So now I hire 2 people, and then you hire another marketing person, then you have to hire 4 salespeople, and you start doing the math. And then you start thinking to yourself, well, in my area, is there enough? What's the capacity? Like, how big can I take this in my town, my county, my state, my country, the world? And you start doing the math and you start adding, like, okay, I'm adding hours, I'm adding people, I'm adding job positions, I'm looking at the capacity of things, and you're adding, and then before you know it, now you're multiplying. You're going, well, I did it in 1 state, I can do it in 2 states, I can do it in 10 states. And then you start, exponentially. So now you're no longer even multiplying, you're going, I can do the US, I can do Europe, I can do the world, and it just starts going big and big and big. And you have to think that way so you can kind of be like, okay, well, what's the first step to get to the last step? And then you just kind of make the adding turn into the multiplying, turn into the exponentials. So you have to think big like that. You have to do the numbers. What do I think my revenue, my profit, my, all that stuff's going to be? And you have to just sit down and sometimes just write down the math and figure it out. You have to be confident. You can't play the victim. You have to be the victor. You're never going to think big if you're like, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I got shut down once before. No, you learned a lesson. You learned what not to do next time. So you have to be confident and think you can do it, and go out there and actually do it. So the next one is to test it with people around you. Test it with family, test it with friends. Maybe have a focus group, hire a focus group or something like that, and start testing it and be like, well, if it worked, if my family thought it was a pretty good idea, and then my friends thought it was a good idea, and then my coworkers thought it was a good idea, and I was doing a survey with strangers, they thought it was good, whatever. You can kind of take that and unfold it and be like, okay, well, that would work in this area. Would it work in the city, the county, the state, the country, the world? Like, you have to, whatever your goal is, how big you are, you have to figure out, like, okay, well, I'm a dominant player in my zip code, my city, my state, whatever. And then you can kind of go, well, it worked in my zip code, let me try this zip code. Oh, I worked in my city, let me try another city. I worked in my county, let me try 2 counties, 2 states, 2 countries. You have to, the bigger you are, the bigger your test group can be. So study all the greats. When you start studying the greats, you learn from their successes and you learn from their failures. You can't make all the mistakes on your own. So learn from others, cut your learning curve. You can't make all the successes. So learn from others so you can grow faster. But also, when you start learning from the greats, you start seeing how they did it, and then you go, I could do that. I can be a great leader. I can be a great business person, politician, athlete, doctor, lawyer, whatever. I can do that. But yeah, just learn from the greats. Watch videos about them. Read books. Talk to them. Whatever. You have to think that you can solve problems. Well, how big of a problem are you trying to solve? City, state, country, world problems. You have to think of that, and you have to think that you can completely solve them right now. And then, okay, what would it take to solve that problem that fast? Okay, do I have those resources? No. What do I have the resources for? This. Can I get more resources? Yes or no? If so, I can do this, then this, then this. You have to think you can solve problems. So in business, the way you become the best is be better, faster, easier, cheaper. So if you want to solve a problem, think, can I make that better, faster, easier, cheaper? If so, how? When? Why? All that stuff. Start asking the questions, writing stuff down, and before you know it, boom, you're off to the races. Stop wasting time. You will never, ever be a business person, much less a big problem solver, a big business person or politician or athlete or whatever, unless you quit wasting time. You want to be an athlete? Go out there and do drills, lift weights, run. You want to be a politician? I don't know, whatever politicians do. You want to be a business person, or you want to be the smartest person? Read all the books. Watch all the videos. Everything. Like, you're not going to become successful looking at social media, looking at porn, watching TV, sitting around playing, goofing off, going to bars, hanging out with people that aren't going to better you at that level and stuff. Quit wasting time. Time is the only commodity you have. You think you have money, you think you have resources, you think you have assets. What you really have is time. From the second you're born to the second you die. What you do with that in that time, with all those tools and resources and assets and people and all that stuff in that meantime, you have a day that you were born and a day that you die, and you have that dash in the middle on your tombstone. It's what you do during that dash. So, you can do great things with tons of tools and resources and money and stuff, but you can do a lot without it. You can also do very little. You can also do jack shit. So, quit wasting time. And then finally, the biggest way to think big and get big things done is to think, why not me? If not me, then who, right? So why can't you be the richest person to ever live? Why can't you be the greatest of all time at that sport? A politician or whatever, if not me, then who? So why not me? And you have to dare to dream. Also, there's a little bit of that narcissist and that ego inside you. And you also have to tell yourself, how dare you? How dare you think you're better than me? How dare you try to compete with me? Also, how dare you not try to compete with me so I can bury you, so I can body you? You have to have a little bit of psycho and ego in you to think you can be that big and that great. So, yeah, if not me, then who? And it will be me. It is me. Like, fuck everybody else. It is me. Like, I don't say that, like, fuck everybody else. Like, I really do want to do good, but like, you gotta be a little bit crazy. So, that's it. How to think big as a business owner or politician or athlete or parent. I don't give a shit. Whatever. Think big. All right. Subscribe, share, comment, like. Let's get to work.